Hey there, welcome to LSAT Demon Daily. I'm Ben Olson, that's Nathan Fox. Together we're the founders of LSATdemon.com and our weekly podcast, Thinking LSAT. We have an email here from Angela.
Hey, Ben and Nate. I hope this email finds you well. I'm in need of your opinion and apologize if this is a long email. Don't apologize. Just remove that sentence.
And cut the email down.
And make it a little shorter. I have been studying for the LSAT since February of 2022, and I've been using the Demon since mid-March. I have severe test anxiety and didn't realize how bad it was until this past week. My usual LSAT test score, whether a full test or combined timed sections, is a 153. I took a full timed section with time and a half this past week and increased by 6 points. I take medication and see professional help for my anxiety and plan on applying for accommodations. Okay, this is where I need your help. I was planning on taking either the August or September LSAT. No, you're both. Both. August with September as a backup, unless you're not ready for August. In that case, you're taking September and October. More, not just one, more, many, not one. Okay. Yeah. My goal is to get into the 160s, between 160 and 165, and I am unsure whether I will be able to reach such a goal come the August test. Well, how are we supposed to know? My goal is to apply to a law school within the New York City/New Jersey area, and based on the LSAT Demon Scholarship Estimator, I would be able to receive either full tuition or more than half of the tuition if I were to reach such a goal. That's great. You've used the LSAT Demon Scholarship Estimator. That's at lsatdemon.com/scholarships, and you're figuring out what score you need to get to the school you want to go to at the price you want to pay. That's excellent. Whether you're going to get there by any particular exam, I have no idea. I don't know. I'm currently working part-time at the grace of my employment. However, they are beginning to get antsy on when I am taking the test. They want me to take the test sooner rather than later.
Ooh.
Presumably so that they can get back to, overworking poor Angela. They're like, oh yeah, you can work part-time now, but you better hurry up and get done with the test so that we can, we need you back so that we can underpay and overwork you.
Yeah.
Angela says, I know that I should not pay attention to their pressure since they will not be the ones who pay for my law school. However, I do rely on them for my income. There are other personal pressures as well, and I would be happy to discuss them if need be. Regardless of the personal or professional pressures, I will be the one who will be paying for my law school. I'm glad you recognize that, Angela. It's a big, big investment, and you just should not let anybody put you on any kind of timeline here.
Also, though, keep in mind that you don't need to work part-time to keep studying for the LSAT effectively. So if this part-time gig is distracting you,
right,
maybe just give in and go full-time, but then also, give the LSAT your best hour every day. If that's before work or after work or whenever it is, just carve out that time for the LSAT and then let work do work. You don't need to apply this fall. You could apply next fall.
Yeah, Angela says, my other concern is if I take the September LSAT, will that affect my chances of receiving a scholarship if I apply for fall of 2023? And it's like, well, I don't know, but why are you so married to the idea of starting in fall 2023 in the first place? I feel like, boy, of all the people who should not be on any type of a preordained schedule,
yeah, anxious people,
the person who suffers from severe test anxiety should not be trying to force this.
Yeah.
You need to go for the long haul, slow, steady, calm, careful, accurate. And yeah, maybe go back to work full time and just chip away at this. Like do 1 hour a day. I just taught a class called 1 Hour LSAT, where it was, oriented toward, hey, what are we going to do today for one productive hour?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what you should be thinking about, is just like really getting in there and really trying to figure out how to understand this test. At 153, you're failing to understand many of the like middle difficulty questions. Hopefully you're getting most of the easiest ones right, but you're dropping lots and lots of totally manageable questions at a 153. And this timing pressure and this trying to force yourself into the August or September LSAT and trying to force yourself to apply in fall of 2023, that just all sounds like a recipe for disaster to me.
Yeah. I want to talk about this sentence. I take medication and see professional help for my anxiety. Medication, professional help. I'm not an expert in anxiety. I can imagine that those things are helpful. But what I don't see here is you talking about meditation, exercise, eating well. I'm honestly kind of fed up with the medical industry on some level. When I hear medication, I get super like skeptical. I'm like, okay, maybe that's necessary in some cases, but I feel like we live in a time where things are just medicated right away. And it's like, wait a sec, maybe you need that. But what about all these other things that have been shown to help people with all sorts of things, not just anxiety, meditation, exercise, pretty basic stuff, but things that we tend not to get enough of.
I think those things are meant to be like supports for you so that you can then get enough stability to do more of the stuff on your own.
Wait, what stuff is meant to be supports? The medication and the professional?
Yeah, I mean, like, for example, an antidepressant, it's like you just might not even be capable of taking any steps in your favor. And if that's the case, that antidepressant to get you like out of bed and moving. But then it's like, well, okay, now what are you going to do with that? Because I agree, Ben, that just only relying on the pharmaceutical approach instead of doing, some things that you can do to help yourself.
Well, I definitely do think there are cases where medication is absolutely necessary and maybe great. But I guess and I have no idea what's good for you, Angela, but like there are so many circumstances where it seems like medication just becomes an excuse to, not do other things that are probably even more effective and don't have any side effects and whatnot. I really don't want to talk about medication necessarily. It's just I would add to this, make sure you're doing meditation, make sure you're exercising, make sure you're eating well. Those things for anyone are super helpful.
And get good, by the way. I mean, like at 153, it's just the truth is you're not good at the test.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's going to be anxiety provoking because you're not good at it. You're not. I mean, like I'm not saying 153 is awful, but I am saying that 153 indicates like there are major holes in your game. And yeah, can you imagine, Ben? If you had to sit down, if you were a 153 student and you had to sit down and take a timed LSAT, that would suck. That would be like, I don't know, that would be terrifying because there's so many questions that I'm not understanding.
Yeah.
So it's like, Angela, you need to transform your actual understanding of this test. And that's only going to happen one question at a time. All this like thought of, well, I need a score between 160 and 165. Yeah. You need to understand the test better, Angela. Like the questions that you're missing when you get a 153, there are many of them. And those questions have a lot to teach you, and you need to learn what they have to teach you. You're always going to be anxious until you get good.
Yeah. You know that phrase, if you build it, they will come, right? From that movie. Well, it's like if you build your understanding, your score will come.
Yeah, and you
You
get
won't force
a lot
it. It will
less
come to you.
anxious.
Yeah.
People ask me why I'm so. I did a presentation the other day, and people are like, how did you become? How are you so confident? And it's like, well, I'm talking about the law school admission test. I'm like an expert in what I'm talking about. So, of course, I'm not nervous. I could talk to the fucking president of the, like, put me in front of Congress or on TV or what. I'm like, I am not going to be nervous if I'm talking about this test.
Yeah.
Because I know what I'm talking about. Well, yeah, Xanax ain't going to substitute for, for like real understanding.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I don't know. I just worry that people stats so much as an excuse for not like really making progress. Should I take August or September? I don't know. Why are we talking about that? We should be talking about one LSAT question that you don't understand.
Yep.
And then when your practice tests indicate you're ready, then you're ready. But I mean, you have until June 30th to sign up for the August test. If you're 153 and you're trying to get into the 160s, then that sounds like a no to me.
Yeah.
So probably push till at least September. Plan on getting accommodations because anybody who's medicated is going to get accommodations almost automatically.
Mm-hmm.
But stop trying to force this in. I don't know. Like if I had to guess or if I had to bet, I would just say, nah, applying this fall is a mistake.
Well, the irony too is if you actually remove that goal, your chances of applying this fall are going to go up.
Right. Stop forcing it and it might happen.
Mm-hmm.
Keep forcing it and you're probably preventing it from happening because you're making yourself so anxious that you're not learning anything.
Yeah.
Thank you, Angela, for your thoughtful email. I hope that was a helpful discussion. You can email daily at lsatdemon.com if you'd like to ask us a question or share some LSAT or law school admissions news. Thanks for listening.